Good morning and welcome back to the farm. It is Wednesday. Jeez, I don't even know what day of the week it is anymore, you guys. Oh, that's right, because last night was Taco Tuesday. We won't get into that. So we're back out at the farm. I'm going to do a bunch of stuff today. We'll come back out here tomorrow as well because I want to fertilize before we go. The rain that we're going to get is actually being pushed off. It's still happening, but instead of tomorrow and Friday, now it's going to be Saturday and Sunday. Maybe a little bit on Friday. So I want to get these things in the ground, and we are not going to rig up the irrigation to all of these all these cucurbits today. I don't have all the parts I need. We'll do that tomorrow, but I'll water them in with a watering can, and then they'll get a nice, good amount of water that'll really spread through when the rain comes. So I will make sure they're on irrigation, but I think we're going to be good. So what we're putting in today, let me bring you over to the table and I will show you. Okay, so we got a bunch of stuff in this tray. These are all of our cucurbits. You can see they're looking really good, but they are big and probably getting stunted at this point. So we've got pumpkins. Let's see, we've got banana melon, hearts of gold melon, black cat pumpkin, Casparita, abominable, mashed potatoes, winter squash, crimson sweet, watermelon, which we actually have germination there. That's crazy. Jack B. Littles, Seminole squash, and what's that say? Sweetmeat acorn, but we don't have any of those. They did not germinate. So this is not all of the pumpkins and winter squash I'm going to plant. This just happens to be the ones that we've got. I will be putting more in that I'll get as starts from the nursery when we get back from our trip. So we've got all of these guys to put in, and then these are our Baptisia. Now we have 3 more of a lemon variety that are going to be going at home, but these I'm going to put in the perennial section here at the farm. Got a couple varieties. This one is Vanilla Decadence, and then we have a blue variety. Oh, here we go. Blueberry Sundae. So I have been wanting to grow Baptisia for the farm for a couple years now. They are an amazing perennial once they are established, provide a ton of stems, but I failed growing them from seed. I failed growing them from small plugs. Now we've got quart size containers. I'm going to put these guys here in the farm in the caged bed in the perennial section, and take really good care of them while they are getting established, and hope that then they take and we're all good. Okay, so we're doing that as well. And then this container, this tray has a few remaining Linaria, a bunch of Sweet Alyssum. We're going to put all these guys out by the pumpkins. They'll just go into the ground. They're not going to get any gopher protection. It does not matter if they get eaten. These were all started from seed. And then we have a few yarrows that we'll put out there as well. Then these are the germinated and ready to go in the ground Highlander grass. Highlander and Lowlander, and then we've got Sequin gomphrena. So I just grabbed that bulk of soil blocks off of the original tray and brought them out here so that we can get these transplanted. So we're going to do these first because they are moist now. I don't want them to dry out. I want to get them right in the ground. So we'll get these guys in, and then we'll work on the other stuff. Now these are the Gopher Shield cages that we're going to be planting all of our cucurbits in. I am not sponsored by these guys, but I have used them not in the ground yet. This will be my first time using them in the ground, but I've used the 4-inch pot size, which is smaller than this. This is 1 gallon. This is 5 gallon. I have used the 4-inch pot size to act as a bag around my apples the last 3 years to keep the rats from eating the apples when they get bigger. So when they're small like they are now, then I tie one of those bags, it's like a 4-inch pot, like I said, tie that around the apples, and I zip tie it at the top. And so then it just becomes a little grow bag, and they grow inside that bag, and the rats can't get through it. They can't eat through this metal. Same as gophers. So I left those at home because I probably am going to bag up my apples. We have so many apples on that tree this year, and I don't want to lose any of them. I did thin yesterday so that the branches won't be too heavy, but I'm going to go ahead and bag them. Even though I've seen no evidence of rats in the garden so far, I know they're there, and I don't want to lose my apples. Don't want to lose my apples. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna put my podcast back in my ears and we're gonna get started on getting these guys in the ground. So I'm gonna get the grasses in, the gomphrena, and then we'll work on finding spaces and digging holes for the squashes. Now, the other thing I'm gonna do tomorrow is plant the corn. So I did not bring that out with me today. What I'm gonna do is prep that area. We have tons of bag soil and compost. I'm gonna just lay a couple layers down in a 5x5 space, and then I'm gonna direct sow the corn. And we will run drip irrigation on drip tape because I already have valves that are there that I can use. So I will just tie in some drip tape, and in that small area, we will set up a growing area for the corn. Again, not protected from rodents. So if they get eaten, they get eaten, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I am also gonna drag some of the raised bed mix in the wheelbarrow out when we plant all the cucurbits, because I want to mix that in with the native soil so they have some good growing medium. And the thing is, so I'm gonna dig a hole, put the gopher bag in, you leave a couple inches above the surface, so that they don't, because gophers do run over ground, but for very short distances. So, and they don't jump. They're not like rats. And so if you have a couple inches above the ground, they don't cross it. So I got to do that, but I don't want to just fill that basket with just raised bed mix, because what will happen is they'll get a great root system going inside that, whether it's the 1 gallon or the 5 gallon size. And then when they hit the wall to go through the mesh, they'll hit the native soil, and it's kind of hard because it's got clay in it, and they might get stunted. And then the roots will start to circle in there just like they were in a pot. So you don't want that to happen. So I want to mix in the native soil with the raised bed mix. That will get them more used to kind of crappy soil. And when they start to send out their roots, then it'll be much better on them. This is just something, it's just better for plants to do that, unless you are growing completely in a container. But when you're putting something into the ground, especially when you're planting trees, you really don't want to fill that hole with, bag soil or raw compost or whatever, because you want the tree to send its roots out beyond that hole that you dug. And if you keep amazing light fluffy soil in there, they're not going to do that, and they end up just circling and becoming root bound, and then they die. So we want to avoid that. All right, let me get going. It's a beautiful day. It's beautiful. It's like 65 degrees Fahrenheit. It is sunny. There's just a very light breeze. I'm sure I'll get hot in the sun, but it feels amazing right now. So I'm going to enjoy this for all it's worth. my mic was not working. I just filmed a whole segment for you guys all about what's going on up here. That's so frustrating. So I guess I'll just be more succinct this time. So we've got 5-gallon buckets up here, and the rest are 1 gallon. We've got abominable, pumpkin, mashed potato, squash, black cat, casparita, banana melon, hearts of gold melon, Seminole squash. These two are Jack B. Little, and that one is crimson sweet watermelon. Now, these guys here are going to get, there's a irrigation line right here. So I'm just going to run little short runs right to them. These guys along here will get irrigation runs from the main line that runs along the fence up there. I just poke a hole, run a line down with an emitter. They're good to go. Tomorrow when we come out, we are going to get this area going right over here. Probably be 6 by 6, maybe 5 by 6, something like that. Anyway, just gonna break up the soil a little bit. It's actually quite loose under here. Funny thing about gophers is that they are terrible for eating your plants, but they are great for aerating soil, all their tunnels. So I'll break up the soil a little bit, then we'll put the top layer of the compost, the bagged soil on top, run the irrigation, and plant our corn. Again, 2 different varieties. So they tassel at totally different times. They will not cross-pollinate, so we can plant them close together in this area, and it'll all be good. What you saw me in the doing, in the thing that you couldn't hear me in, was harvesting Alstroemeria. So what we do is we twist it off at the base. You don't use snips to cut Alstroemeria. If you twist it off at the base, that sends, for some reason, that works to send the hormone signal to the plant to produce more stems. If you cut them, apparently they don't get that message and they won't keep producing for you. Making sure my microphone's on. So I harvested a whole bunch of Alstroemeria. You want to strip all the leaves except for the ones around the flowers at the top. Because those leaves help keep the plant hydrated. And you want to harvest when the first 1 or 2 flowers is open. So I still have more in there that I didn't harvest. I will come back and do those tomorrow and Friday so that the plant is like, okay, I need to produce more stems when we leave. I don't want stems to sit on there completely open and just go, because then the plant will give up. It'll be done for the season. Same thing with the sweet peas that you saw me harvest. That variety, I believe, is high scent. They smell amazing. I did plant a lot of those, and apparently those are the ones that took. When you're growing sweet peas, if you want to keep getting blooms, and they will bloom their heads off, mine usually go for at least 2 months, you need to cut every single flower off the plants. If you leave even one flower, and it goes to seed, the plant will stop producing other flowers. So if you want lots and lots of flowers on your sweet peas, you need to cut every single stem. So I need to go get those guys into water because they are going to dry out. The air temperature is wonderful, but it's hot here in the sun. And the other thing I wanted to tell you is that Jamie is here. I was going to check the hives tomorrow to see if they were both queen right. In other words, both had queens. It has been enough time at this point for them to have made a new queen. And he's getting queens in the mail, I think, or from somebody locally on Saturday. So he said, if one of yours isn't queen right, I can buy a queen from him and he can install it. But I'm going to be out of town. And so he's going to check. He's up here to check his own hives. So he asked if I would mind if he checked them. I was like, that does me a huge favor. So he's going to go in there and look now. And if he sees that they're both have queens, and you don't even have to really look for the queen at that point, you can just look to see if there are eggs being laid. And if there are, then you know there's a mated queen. And if not, then he can install a queen for me. I'll just pay him to do that. So let me get all these flowers back to the car, and I got to be careful because the hives are open. So I just want to get in the car really quick. So I'm going to say goodbye here. Tomorrow we'll come back out. We will get our corn bed all set up and get the irrigation run to that and to these guys. And then we're getting rain, so that'll be helpful too. All right, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I'm really super happy. I have achieved every goal that I set out to do at the farm for this year. The only thing I didn't achieve is that I was going to put a bed right where the camera is, open that bed up for more perennials, but we don't need it right now. So I'm not going to waste the irrigation and the soil. Until I need an extra bed, I'm not going to open it. All right, guys, thanks again for hanging out. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.